everyone. I am Luciana Cabrini Simões Calvo. I am a professor in the Letras undergraduate and graduate program at the State University of Maringá. Today I am going to talk to Phoebe Maisamari, a postdoctoral researcher in our Letras graduate program. Phoebe is from Nigeria and she's developing her study here in Brazil at our university. Hi, Phoebe. Welcome. It is a pleasure to talk to you.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay. Thank you very much, Luciana. I am Phoebe Maisamari. I'm from Federal Capital Territory, College of Education, Zuba. And I'm also a part-time lecturer with the Yakubu Gowon University, former University of Abuja. I lecture general English and communication skills, applied linguistics, and media information literacy. Thank you.
How nice. And what was your motivation to carry out your research in Brazil?
Yeah, first of all, I was motivated by the collaboration that transpired between FAUBAI, FARA, and TED Fund. These are different organizations from Brazil and Nigeria. They brought out that opportunity. So what motivated me was that I saw it as an opportunity. In my country, when you have that to travel out of the country to improve on what you know about, it's a great opportunity for that. And it's an act of self-realization, because I would be able to realize a lot of things that I think I have and compare it with what I met here. And it's also a form of progress. It's form of progress, and it is an achievement that is an international achievement to be said that I have traveled out of the country to study for my postdoctorate degree. That is to conduct a research on a particular aspect of what I'm doing. So it is a motivation for international connection, for progress, and experience. I was motivated to have a different experience from the educational setup in our country and that of Brazil. So I chose Maringá.
Yeah, so different motivations. How
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
And as you talked about the motivation to study here, to carry out your research here, can you tell us a little bit about your study?
Okay. My topic was on using digital literacy to promote effective global citizenship in higher tertiary education in Nigeria. That was the topic, and the focus was based on digital literacy and virtual exchange and global citizenship. I had a bibliographical review of some work that has been carried out from 2019 to 2024 on this focus, this key point, these keywords. That is digital literacy and virtual exchange with global citizenship. So I went through the work, looked at what findings were, and this was done through the use of Google Scholar and other sources in the internet.
Yeah.
So that's that.
You mentioned different aspects that you discussed in your work. For example, you talked about digital literacy, global citizenship. Can you explain a little bit more about those concepts? We could start talking about digital literacy. What is it? Can you explain it a little bit more?
All right, thank you. Digital literacy has to do with the ability to access, you access and you manage and you create digital content across digital platforms responsibly. That is the ability to use digital tools. And these tools are things we have around us. But actually, my own study, digital literacy skills, has to do with the tertiary education. How can students have access and use information from the media, from the internet responsibly, how they can verify and evaluate sources. That is, they don't use sources without evaluating such sources, and how they can create information or materials and display in the internet. And the responsive act of using technology has to do with you avoid misinformation, disinformation, because these are things that affect people globally. So that is what I look at: digital literacy, ability to educate yourself and others, ability to respect yourself as you use digital tools, and other people using, and how you communicate with other people. And then the ability to adhere to digital laws, the etiquettes, and security, because it's very important that a student should be able to protect the information, his own information on the internet. He should also consider other users of this information. So digital wellness is very important, because you have to consider other people, how you protect your data, your privacies, and so on and so forth.
Okay, all right. And you also mentioned that you discussed global citizenship in your research. What is the relation of global citizenship to digital literacy? How do you relate those concepts in your work?
Okay, you see, they are always global literacy and digital digital literacy and global citizenship are intertwined, because we the world has become a global village, whereby you can chat with somebody as if you are talking to someone across the room, and then that is one. Number two, you see, Ribble and Bailey discuss how we can become global citizenship through our ability to use those tools responsibly, and how we can change our outlook about life, and how we can access information across different divides. That is, a digital citizen looks at the world as he looks at himself as a citizen of the world. He understands other people's tradition, beliefs, customs, and he adjusts. He tries to make adjustment. He tries to proffer solution to world problems, like we have hunger. It's a world problem. He tries to bring his own input on how this can be solved. So a global citizen tries to bring global solution. He tries to contribute his quota, just like an ordinary citizen. I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I should have Nigeria. I should look beyond the Nigerian citizenship to how we can make the world a better place, how we can bring solution to stop wars, to stop religious intolerance. That is what is expected about a global citizen.
So, Phoebe, based on those concepts that you have just explained, you said that you reviewed some papers that you found in online platforms. Can you talk a little bit about the results of this review?
Thank you very much. From those sources that I reviewed and went through, I discovered that there is a digital divide that exists between the children whose parents are a bit financially well up. You find that they are provided with all the gadgets that are necessary. They have more access to the gadget, that is digital tools, than the children that are not well opportune to use those tools. So that has brought about a digital divide, and which I expect that it has to be dealt with. That is, the university or the tertiary education should introduce a learning management system whereby there should be access for everybody to be able to use technology for his assignment, for project, and the rest. And other things I discovered is that the ability to be digitally literate will enable you to have a skill for employability. That is, student or individual that have skills, digital skills, are always ready for employment. They have advantage to get employment in the labor market than those students who do not have the adequate, necessary, effective skills. So I also understand that the government should try to provide e-learning facilities and trainings, because most of the teachers or the lecturers have no adequate training to be able to teach using the those platforms like the Google document, having a lecture using the Zoom. So I found out that most of the lecturers, not all, some are not able to use that for even assessment purposes. Usually, there is supposed to be a portal whereby results of students are being uploaded in the internet so that they will have easy access to their own result. But a situation whereby the instructor or the professor has no adequate digital skill, it becomes a problem. So these are the things I discovered in my study. And there are other things like poor funding of infrastructure, of digital infra. There was poor funding of facilities, unstable power. Sometimes you may be having, and then the power goes off. So there is not usually a backup, and then there is also inadequate internet coverage. That is, there are some areas whereby the internet does not cover the whole area. So it's so difficult that even though these are being supplied, the student has to come where there is coverage. So these were the findings. Lastly, I discovered that there was a shortage of digital personnel in the school.
There are many challenges, right?
Yes, there are.
Yeah,
There
that you mentioned.
Yes.
And then those results show those challenges, right?
Yes.
Based on that, you provided some recommendations for the Nigerian context, right?
Yes.
Would you like to mention some of those recommendations that you provided in your work?
Yeah,
you mentioned the training.
Challenge,
The training
yes.
for teachers.
For every challenge there should be a solution or recommendation. So having gone through those challenges that I've listed, one of the recommendation was that the Nigerian Ministry of Education need to review their curricula to involve training. That is, for example, the personnel training for students and also the the teaching personnel and also the administrative personnel. There should be training. There should be a flexible curriculum whereby things can be added and removed. So it means that Nigerian ministry or the tertiary education, they need a strong policy changes whereby it will be easy for them or for us to implement a curriculum that takes care of these problems I have mentioned. And there should be funding. Because the tertiary education should be well funded so that because the world has already moved. There is a paradigmatic shift from this face-to-face teaching to the asynchronous learning techniques. So there should be funding that will put in place these things that are needed to have an effective and a smooth takeoff for a total digital educational system in Nigeria.
Right. And to finish, can you talk a little bit about your learning experiences here at Wayne and in Maringá, in Brazil, and also about the challenges that you faced?
Well, my experience in Maringá was beautiful, or is beautiful because I'm still in Maringá. I have had some experiences that were totally new with me. For example, experience that has to do with language was there, but it was tackled because we were made to go for the basic Portuguese class, which helped me very much. I was able to have an idea of most of the vocabulary of the Portuguese language, and I discovered that Portuguese have a lot of language borrowing. I don't know if, yes, it should be borrowing from, some are English, some are French, some are, I won't say, but it helped me. It helped me because some of these words, I recognize them in English, some I recognize them in French because I understand French a little bit. And I'm so happy because I went through that course and I go to church and the service is being conducted in Portuguese. So it triggered my interest. And as a Catholic, I know how the sequences of the service goes on. So, I was able to read and understand. It helped me. I had a good experience. I went to the park. I went to the shopping mall. I ate a lot of Brazilian food, and it is so wonderful.
And completely different.
Yes, different. And there are other things about your culture that you see. Your food and our food is the same, but the way of cooking the food is different.
And also the pepper, remember the pepper?
Yes, we love pepper.
Yeah.
We love pepper, and you people love salt. So you see, so we love pepper, you people love salt, and it's so wonderful. And I had the opportunity to go out I had a party by the Basico French Portuguese class. We had a party at the end of the year. We were given certificate. It's a great achievement. And I engaged, or I took part in trainings and courses like the COIL, that is the Collaborative Online International Learning, which gave me a first-hand experience about what is virtual exchange. I was so engrossed because it was something that is totally new for me. So it helped me to give me an idea about what digital literacy is and even global citizenship. I also took part on a training with this, is it INA 214? That is a global hunger. Is it global? Yeah. No, zero hunger.
Zero.
It is one of the MDG goals, MDG 2, I think. And I took part 6 weeks training for it. 6 weeks for COIL, 6 weeks for that one. And it gave me an idea of what is global citizenship. Hunger, food, that is how do we protect seeds to avert hunger, and some of these countries with disaster, children with stunted growth. And I realized that, yes, to be a global citizen, you have to have a global outlook about problems and how do you bring solution to solve global problem. I was gainfully employed because I had no careless moment. I was really enjoying everything because the tasks that were set were able to sharpen me to do my work. I also had a presentation with, first of all, I had one in November with the ECI. They are wonderful people. They gave me a good, they helped me to get the CPF, and they asked me to give a talk to the foreign students about my experiences, which I'm doing now. And it was wonderful. Another experience I had was the SPLE. Yes, and I was able to present.
Oh,
I
yes.
gave
At the
interviews.
graduate program.
Yes, for students studying, I think some of them were studying journalism, I think, and it's wonderful. And the great one I had experience was with Josie. She was there. You were not there at that time, and she took me around. Marcio took me around, and we had outings, we had tea, we have coffee. I was exposed to different cuisines of Brazilian cuisines. We had at that time the Christmas. It was wonderful, and I went to the park. I saw fish. I saw variation of tilapia fish, colored pink, different gold colors, and I could, as if I can touch them. They come, we feed them. It's wonderful. I had a good.
Was it at Parque do Japão?
Yes, Parque
Parque do Japão.
de Japan. I have a lot. We went with our Nigerian friends. So I had a good experience, and during my birthday, you people came around me. You people are wonderful people, very wonderful. I enjoyed every bit of my stay. I also enjoyed shopping. I shopped a lot, and I went to the vegetable market to try to buy things using. So I was immersed in Portuguese, which is one of the exchange program. This mobility, we have a partial mobility, total. Mine was partial because when I come to the faculty, I see people I speak English, but outside the faculty, in the cafeteria, in the shopping, everybody speaks Portuguese. So it was a good experience because I was left to be a Portuguese linguist.
Nice. So say a word in Portuguese for us that you most like saying, for example.
Ok. Boa tarde. E o nome é Phoebe Maisamari. Okay. I came to study, to do pesquisa in a pós-doutorado. You see,
Wonderful. I asked for a word.
You gosto comida, you gosto feijoada, you gosto frango, and so many other things.
Oh, wonderful, Phoebe. How wonderful. You're very fluent in Portuguese.
Fluent? Okay, thank you very much.
So
it's
nice.
Wonderful. Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much, Phoebe. It was wonderful to talk to you and to get to know a little bit more about yourself, and also hear again about your research that I had the pleasure of supervising.
Thank you so much. You are so nice. You were very receptive. You made me feel it's not, you can do it. You can do it. You could do it. And together we have done it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.